Hello, welcome to the Boilerside podcast. America has been grabbed by the Pusswah. With me, Plippy McGee, and with me, as always, is the Gamer of Ages.
Oh, hello.
And Roy Calback.
I'd buy this inauguration for $1.
So yeah, Trump has been sworn in. It's happened, guys.
It's finally happened. And can I just say that the night before the inauguration was hilarious?
I wouldn't say it was hilarious. I would say it was baffling. I think the actual inauguration was kind of entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was entertaining, but just the fact that, you know what, of all the bands you get Smash Mouth, and you play a certain song.
Can you say that again,
all the songs.
Say that again.
I was just thinking, since, Smash Mouth was one of the bands that was invited to do the singing, right?
Yes.
And I think we know that just of all the songs they had to sing,
Please say it was
they sang that one.
Which one?
Yes, it was.
All-Star. Excellent.
They actually, and President Trump, actually, I could say this now, President Trump was singing to it.
Well, of course. I think he has that song basically on repeat when it came out. Sort of like listening to it and nodding to himself going, yes, I am. I most definitely am. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's been a hilarious 24 hours. Of course, now we have the Women's March going on, and the most amazing thing about the Women's March is they don't seem to know what they're actually marching for.
Well, it's probably best described as the usual, quote unquote, with steroids. Because now that Trump has been elected, that seems to have fired them up to be even angrier and shout the same things more commonly, only tacking on Trump to them. One of the more interesting things I found about the inauguration in general, this sort of thing has been going on for a while, but it's just been ramping up. Similar things where they were blocking access to get into the inauguration.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we have press saying, "Oh, look how many fewer people than Obama showed up."
Yeah.
Yes, death threats and blocking roads will have an effect on people going to the inauguration. Not to mention a bit of drizzle. Nobody likes standing out in the rain.
Yeah, George W. Bush looking fantastic with a bit of plastic on his head.
Yes, that was delightful. He looked like a little baby in swaddling plastic.
He looked kind of proud of himself as well when he had it on, which is quite nice.
It's just like, look at me.
Actually, I was surprised by how many people I saw in that crowd. Politicians had bloody cowboy hats on. Is that common, or cowboy hats?
There's a fair amount of cowboy hats and American flag bandanas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Hulk Hogan was supposedly there.
Oh, Hulk Hogan, orange solidarity there, brother.
Yes,
indeed. Oh, hell yeah.
Supposedly 20,000 bikers showed up to support Trump as well. And that's probably where a lot of those flag bandanas and cowboy hats came from.
I actually kind of, you know what I find funny? When those bikers turned up, funnily enough, the protests started thinning out then, further away from the inauguration site.
Yes, and as it's been pointing out, even Texans don't wear cowboy hats anymore.
Wait, really? What the fuck?
They're fine hats, man. They're fine hats.
Yeah, wear them with pride, damn it.
Yeah, I've also the southern states of America is actually... Of course, they have some problems down there that I probably wouldn't fit in so well, but I get the feeling that, it's a good little... It seems like a nice enough place, family-orientated.
Yeah.
Hardworking people, spittoons. I like to think they have spittoons still.
Oh, that'd be quite nice. Yeah, just basically, from what I gather, just don't do anything stupid, or they'll shoot you. And don't jaywalk. Don't jaywalk.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's my problem. I probably just don't be doing things stupid. And you won't get shot. Well, that's my problem. I tend to do stupid shit.
Well, what I mean is just don't jaywalk. They actually shoot people.
What they shoot you for nearly getting run over. That's a bit of a harsh. So defeating the point, the punishment, defeating the point of the crime there. Then again, you could, I suppose, you make a mess of their cars.
I think that's like a sort of negative reinforcement.
Oh yeah.
If you try to cross the road in a dangerous spot, then well,
you're what?
Oh, you know, you're gonna die, just not by a bloody car.
Yes, but yeah, it was amazing stuff. Of course, I watched the BBC feed, which apparently in the closed caption, they got when he was Trump was taking his oath, you know, with his hand on the art of the deal, as God intended. BBC had their you know, the subtitles running, and apparently they had it for the wrong show.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Apparently, when he was apparently when they were doing the prayer thing, apparently things like "just tell him to get out of my face and go sit in your room" was being played, was coming on the screen, which is like, yeah, this is the BBC. BBC still do that.
Still, actually, I remember that I know someone who works with the BBC as a vision mixer, so she does a lot of their shows. Like she did. Oh, what's their big sort of drama show?
You're really dropping in and out again.
Yeah, oh, sorry. What's the BBC's big drama show?
I can't tell. I don't watch TV. I know their biggest thing for ages was Doctor Who. Is it still the big thing over
there? Not really. Everyone sort of just forgot about it.
So going back to the old man Doctor didn't exactly help.
Yeah, it's a shame. I like the actor.
Really, I just think everything I see him in, I just can't stand him. Peter Compadre, is that his name?
Yeah, Peter Compadre, because I always loved him for when he was in that sort of political movie where he was just a really, really bad-tempered ambassador to the United Nations.
Yeah, I think with him, I just think he was acting via his teeth. Yeah. Lots of teeth going on there. Lots of teeth clenching.
Yeah, he's known for that.
I saw him in the very racially diverse Three Musketeers.
Oh!
Didn't know Dr. Honey was of Indian descent. Didn't know that.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It's a fun show. But he was in that as Richelieu with his teeth, and you could tell and you can tell when he left to go. When he got a better deal to go somewhere else, because all of a sudden he just vanished, and they said, "Oh, he's dead." I was like, "Oh, so he left then."
Yep.
I have to admit, I haven't seen much of the new version of Who, except for Tennant. I think I saw about half of his episodes, and the big problem is I used to love it when it was Tom Baker. That really was my in for Doctor Who, was Tom Baker. And I've never seen anybody but Tennant come close to being Tom Baker.
Yeah, Tennant had like a nice sort of balance, and also he's Welsh.
Yes.
The Welsh are entertaining.
No, he's Scottish. Tennant is Scottish.
No, he's Welsh.
Okay. I'll let you guys go, because I can't tell the difference.
Jesus Christ.
No, I like keeping track.
I know Wormwood was set in Wales.
David Tennant is a Scottish actor.
I'm sorry, Torchwood. Did I say Wormwood? Torchwood, yes. I meant.
I watched Torchwood for about 3 episodes, and it was like, okay, everyone's gay. I get it. And
yeah, everyone. Yeah, pretty much. That's about it.
It's just, to me, it just seemed like it wasn't really going anywhere. And I understand that there's a lot of fans who say yes, it did, but it didn't pull me in like that.
Yeah, here's my problem with Torchwood. It got to the point as where it's like, yeah, I get it, guys. You really like Doctor Who, and it does, and lots of people watch it. But I don't want to see a grown-up Doctor Who. It just doesn't work. Grown-up adult-themed Doctor Who was just someone being rapey towards a Cyberman. That's what we started off with. I'm not joking. Someone was actually like molesting a Cyberman.
I remember that. That was fucking weird.
But anyway,
actually was. But yeah, with Doctor Who, with Tennant, he was pretty cool.
He was okay. He was the height of the series, and he eventually left, obviously. And then they had this new guy in who I suddenly stopped caring. It seemed to me.
I remember that.
I was just watching it going, and when I found out, oh, he's been there for 7 years, I went, really? 7? Okay, I've been out of the loop then.
Yeah, I haven't seen any with the newest Doctor. You say he's an old gent now.
They've gone back to an older actor, yeah.
I don't know. For me, there was always sort of the sense. I'm familiar somewhat with the progression of Doctors. But I always thought that there was a bit of a progression from the old towards the young. Like as he shed each new life, he was getting younger.
Yeah, not quite.
Obviously,
not
there was an upper end to that because you can't have a teenager being Doctor Who.
Yes. Well, I know people always said because let's think about it. It was William Hartnell, sorry, who was the very first one, and he was a very old man. And then they had Patrick Troughton, who's looked like a monk, really.
Yeah.
Then I think it went older again with John Pertwee. Then Tom Baker, because he was number 4. Peter Davison was quite young. He was the youngest one to ever be the Doctor. He was young. He was the 80s young, sexy Doctor Who. And then they had Colin Baker, who lasted 1 year because everyone hated him. And then they had Sylvester McCoy, who was once again a middle-aged man. And that killed the series. Then they had Paul McGann for the film, I think. And then we go into Christopher Eccleston, who was my favourite.
I actually, I have to say, I really like Christopher.
You've gone again.
Oh, sorry. I quite like
Christopher.
Yeah, I like Christopher.
Yeah, he was great.
He was quite unique, actually.
Well, he was quite good because it had because the Doctor really has different personalities, obviously. But the thing that I always didn't like about the new Doctor Who is I think he humanized the Doctor too much.
Yeah, this one was a lot more like Christopher's one was a lot more brooding.
He was an angry man.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that. Like, I can understand it. I get it. Like, fucking hell, it's fucking shit's fucked, really.
Yeah, if you wouldn't understand, there's actually Christopher Eccleston had the huge nose and ears. Yes. There was a point, but you know the bit when he picks up a gun to go hunt down the Dalek. That scene.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was supposed to be a really powerful scene because the Doctor hated guns and never ever touched them.
Yeah, but with when it came to Daleks, he's like,
except all the times he did.
Yeah.
No, the whole point is that when it came to the Daleks, they had traumatized them so much that he's picking up guns against them. That was the whole point. It was a big emotional moment.
Yeah, he was willing to put aside his hatred in order to combat another big hatred.
Yeah. Anyway,
very interesting.
Yeah, but turning back to the BBC and its coverage of Trump, my favourite part is I was watching. We talked about this. I was watching the inauguration. The BBC was covering it, doing their typical. Yes, so many protesters. No one really here. Everyone's just here to protest him. Oh, what a ghastly man! And they started showing the protesters, and I recognised a couple of them.
Really?
I was watching them going, oh look, black masks, and they're dressed in black, and oh yes, the black and red flags. Antifa's here.
Anti-FA, the fascists who claim to be anti-fascist, but even though they completely embody what a fascist would be.
Yes, and I was just thinking, BBC, you obviously have not. This is why I think the BBC is probably more ignorant than deliberately covering stuff up. Because if you knew who those guys were and you were trying to present the protesters as being a peaceful, happy group, you wouldn't be following down the Antifa bunch. And at one point, it was right into the bit where they started randomly smashing up a McDonald's.
Oh, and then they cut the feed, didn't they?
Then they cut it and just went solely on the inauguration, talking about Trump, telling everyone how lovely Melania looked. All of a sudden, it was a good, positive vibe thing. Oh, look, let's just not bother with the They were told, don't talk about the protesters anymore.
Yeah, because guess what? They started smashing shit.
Yes, and that goes against the narrative.
Yeah, fucking. Actually, you know what? CNN showed the protests. Funnily enough, they actually fucking showed the protests. At work, we were watching the inauguration, and one of the guys who was from America, he was watching like the CNN live stream. They were fully covering the protests for some reason.
Yeah, the protesters were they always have this thing of people saying, "Oh God, violence breaks out at all the Trump events." And I'm thinking, what? You think a group of people who are sitting around agreeing with each other are just randomly punching each other?
Yeah.
I don't think it's the Trump people starting the fights. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that.
Okay, here's one of the stupidest things from the Women's March thing so far.
Mm-hmm.
Make them pay for razors if we pay for tampons.
How do those correlate?
Well, if razors were free, they might have a point.
Yes, they are
Make them
not
pay
free.
for razors if we got to pay for it. We do pay for razors, so you can buy your own tampons. Shut up.
Yeah,
It's just, oh my God. How does somebody not understand that when you go to the store, and if you're a lady, if you're a lady who is familiar at all with beauty products, you know where the razors are.
mm-hmm.
And there's the women's razors next to the men's razors.
Yes.
How do you not know? Oh, wait, maybe she never shaves.
Or maybe she actually never bought her own razors.
Yep, that always has.
Yeah, or maybe they kept, and maybe they're a lot like the Tumblr group that keeps stealing shit.
I have my live-in maid fetch my groceries and sundries.
I think it's my mother buys my razor blades. I have no need to leave the house. Mate, go fetch me some razor blades. I must march for justice about how I have to pay for the razor blades that you.
I just found the picture actually.
I've had somebody barking at me saying, they're marching for reproductive justice. Could you please define that? And it literally came down to the federal government paying for things.
Mm.
Because we was oppressed and shit.
Mm.
We was queens.
Apparently, noted YouTuber Markiplier is down at the Women's March, and apparently he's a bit confused.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Really?
He's very confused.
Yeah. What's going on?
I think I've not watched the clip he's uploaded, but people are talking to him, and he seemed, from the feedback of what it looks like he doesn't exactly know what they're.
Oh, he thought it was just like some random march, probably.
Yeah.
And he didn't realize. Good old Markiplier. He's okay.
He's good. He was one of these people who did you watch his YouTube video when he said he met Obama?
Oh yeah, and he talked about how fucking creepy it was.
Yes. Did you see it, Roy?
Oh, which one?
The one when he met.
The one where
he said he was talking about when he met Obama.
No, I don't think I saw that at all.
He said it was a bit strange because they got all in the biggest YouTubers, and they were saying it's. He said it felt strange because they're saying things to him like, "It is your job to influence and influence the children of tomorrow." And he said it felt a bit wink.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I have a lot of respect for him making that video.
Mm.
Because normally, people would just say, "Oh, okay, you can't. Oh, okay, otherwise I'll get fucking killed by the Secret Service or some shit." But we just did it. I like her.
Yeah, Markiplier's a cool dude. He seems like a nice chap.
Yeah, I'd gladly buy him.
And he generally he's nice. He's a nice bloke, and he generally keeps politics out of his videos.
Yes, and I love that.
Here's a game. It's interesting. Oh my God, I've got a reaction to it. That's it.
Basically.
That's all it is.
Even when he was playing a game about.
He's like a bit more grown up PewDiePie.
Well, I mean, he's like a less shitpostery PewDiePie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
That's
I
kind of
think
what
I think he gets it because he actually has visited Pol. So I think Markiplier gets it.
Wait, he has?
Yes, he's admitted. Yeah, he says back in his days when he used to be on 4chan all day. So,
Oh, I forgot he used to be on 4chan. Oh, that would...
But anyway, yeah, he even when he was playing a game about Trump, he actually kept he played a video game about Trump and was completely apolitical about it. That takes some gumph.
Yeah.
Oh God! But yeah, the this woman's march is riots, not diet. I thought that was a joke first time I heard that chant.
Are you kidding me?
Riots, not diets, and the women look pretty much how you'd expect.
We want the right to be fat and lazy and smash windows. Because social justice.
Because I am a fully independent woman. I think.
Please pay for everything for me. I'm fully independent while at the same time wanting to be the least independent person ever. I think that's my whole point. They want independence. They keep saying it's about independence, but it's like you don't want independence. You just want someone else to give you money, someone else to look after you, because you don't need no man. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I'm looking at with the women's march, it's just yeah, this is just weird. Like for example, I'm looking at some who's Elaine Pearson? She's I think one of the coordinators. Yeah, from the Human Rights March. Said this won't end when marchers go home. It's a critical time to safeguard women's rights.
What?
And this is in Sydney.
Yeah, this is it. They have one in London with noted London Mayor Sadiq Khan. Yes, that bloke. He was marching with them.
I saw that. I saw them go past, and I thought it was retarded.
You saw Sadiq Khan. You didn't like. You didn't take your chance.
No. I just, to be honest, I was a little too far away because, to be honest, the smell was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, it smelled horrible. It's like a bunch of these people didn't wash. Or at least they haven't for the past, like, few months. And I did notice. I saw, no, I mean, like, you know, the people he was marching with. Like, it was a really bad stench. I could smell it from, like, at least 10 meters away.
Aye.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That is gross.
You know what's funny? I actually did see Khan at one point. It looked like he was squinting.
That's right.
No.
No, you just
like,
robot.
No. I think it looked like he had thought, "Oh shit, I made a fucking horrible mistake going here without fucking nose blockers."
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I think the biggest problem with all these marches, people always go, "Yeah, it's a great idea." Then they do it, and they go there and they see these people are actually not the people you'd like to think of as friends. Because it's just that when you actually see this, as I was going to make some Markiplier thing, it's like once you actually go down there, you don't actually know what you don't understand. It doesn't make sense. It's just about I have a gripe, and you're there thinking, what's this got to do with anything?
I have no fucking idea. Oh, yeah. Wait, let's see. Oh yeah, someone saw some of these. The women's march in I think this is Toronto. Let's see. Like the local prostitutes are freezing or participating in the women's march by freezing their asses off in the courthouse.
Yay!
This.
If they
It's just like
for anything of substance, that would be one thing, but they're not. It's just we're angry Trump was elected.
Oh well, actually, it gets better because I'm just reading what he saw of it. So it was just a dozen of them holding signs up about how they want to sell sex with them for money, and they look about what you expect.
Yeah.
And
speaking of sex for money, Madonna.
Oh boy.
as she's been saying, she has been doing wonderful things like singing "Fuck Donald Trump" into a song. Amazing, very creative lady.
Stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave lady. And she says she's thought about bombing the White House, which is like,
Which is
That's not a good idea.
The thing is, that's actually a felony at this point if you're trying to promote that or say this is something that I want to do, because the Patriot Act actually made First Amendment speech of that type legal. But before there was a Patriot Act, when Bill Clinton was president, you had things like a couple of teenagers emailing one another that they wanted to kill the president, and they wound up getting a visit from the FBI and going to jail for several months for quote-unquote conspiracy to commit, simply because they spoke about it in email that was intercepted. So you've got that, and then Bush comes in, and the Patriot Act goes in, and it amends all of these various laws, such as the Foreign Intelligence Services Act, things like that, and adds in virtually every one of these laws except for conduct which is of a First Amendment nature. It exempted First Amendment speech. But without that exemption, which went away when they allowed it to sunset, because obviously it was evil and horrible and Democrats wanted it gone, now what Madonna did, just, she can go to jail for that.
Yep, she can actually go to jail. And to be honest, you can't blame Trump for this, because this was something that was put in during Obama's time.
Yeah, they had the opportunity to protect that right to say, I want to kill the president, and chose not to.
Wow, what a fucking idiot.
I think it's the same with it. I always think about, hypocrisy always amuses me. And it was the whole fact I was thinking, if Ted Nugent said he wanted to bomb the White House, we'd never hear the end of it.
Oh, God, yeah.
The other thing is, I'm for this. I am for speech. If somebody wants to say, yes, blah, 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 blah. But the law as it is right now, because of the way it's treated, there is no allowance for this kind of thing. And also, when it's a matter of smack talk, as opposed to saying, I am going to do this. If you say, I am going to do this, then that's direct threat. It's the same as saying to somebody on the street, I'm going to kill you. You don't have to wait for them to do it.
Yeah.
So she didn't go quite that far, but it's still to the point that because of who it's directed at, they can call a conspiracy and have her hauled in, which I do not want to have happen to her. I don't want that. I would prefer that the folks who lost this election get over it and realize that what they're doing is throwing Molotovs at their own shadows.
Yeah,
exactly. And also, all they're doing is just shooting themselves in the foot. Like, for example, we saw this with the riots after the election in Democrat cities. Like, why the fuck would you actually do fucking throw Molotovs and shit inside your own city?
Because they don't look at it in those terms. That's just, this is convenient. It's where we all live anyways, so let's go out and riot.
I've always wondered this. Why is it the cities that complain about racism and sexism are the most liberal cities? And I mean liberal in the political term, but I don't mean liberal in the actual description, how you describe a person. I mean the
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. It's like, for example, I would consider myself a liberal, but I am not voting for any liberal party soon because I don't trust any of them.
No.
For example, the Liberal Democrats have a huge problem with pornography. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
And they're the party for the kids, and they destroy, and they're the party for, are you aware who they are, Roy?
Say again?
The Liberal Democrats in the UK. Do you know much about them?
I'm familiar with the existence of the party. And from what I hear, they're no longer liberal or Democrat. In particular.
Well, what happened was they were the party that was all about the free, getting rid of all the what was it, ridiculous university costs.
Yeah,
they're all about doing that, but they got into power and they didn't get it done. And they actually, for the first time ever, their leader Nick Clegg came out. Actually came out and said, sorry, we ballsed up. The only politician to ever probably do that, and they destroyed and his own supporters destroyed the the party, including calling them Nazis.
Yeah, and it's, you know what? I actually had a lot of respect for him, even with all his stuff with Brexit's gonna kill us and shit like that. I still have quite a lot of respect for him for just doing that, for doing what no other politician so far, at least, has ever done.
I think somebody here has nutshelled it perfectly. The way protesting is done today is basically a group temper tantrum. No direction, no goal, just undisciplined catharsis.
Mm-hmm. I think that's my confusion about it will always be, what the hell are you complaining about? Because you can't point to anything. What you're unhappy about, many years ago, Trump says, when you're a rich celebrity, you can grab women by the pussy and they let you. Is that really what?
That's an honest statement. It's the women who allow you to do that are called gold diggers. They are social climbers. They are, and Hollywood is infested with them. It's a sad fact, but if you are, for example, you think of yourself as a good-looking woman and you decide to get a career in modeling, it's expensive to do, it's difficult work, and it's limited. So you actually wind up going to Hollywood. You don't become the star you wanted to. You're not getting the gigs. You wind up working as a waitress, and Donald Trump walks in.
Exactly, and you use that up. It's more of a job of opportunities, to be honest.
Hey, look, I'm going to get into a photo op with Donald Trump grabbing my pussy because, well, for one thing, I get attention. For another, it's a brush with celebrity. It's kinky. It's wild. It's something that might get me noticed. Yeah, and that sort of thing. That is exploited by people throughout the system. That's always been very common in the movie industry. So the idea that they would act shocked that a guy who's a reality show TV star might have had this happen. Oh, God, I've never done anything like this. Me and all of Hollywood is.
To be honest, I think with that, I always thought when I heard about that, I thought, oh, okay, I know this shit happens in Hollywood, but they're going to use him as a scapegoat.
Yes. I think
somebody just used that today. Yeah. I'm sorry, before we get on to one other thing, I just got hit with that today as somebody responded to the bit with Madonna talking about bombing the White House by saying, well, Trump said he grabbed people's pussy. Isn't that irresponsible and horrible speech too?
That's not. How are those comparable?
Bingo.
And the funny thing is, it's not like he said it in the public. He was talking to this weird little creepy guy. Actually, when you actually look at the video,
it was baiting him the whole time.
Yes.
He was fishing for stuff like this.
Yeah, I'm not actually gonna I'm not gonna defend Trump. He can defend himself. He's a big boy. He's got a bit of power behind him. He can defend himself.
Especially since he has his own gun, apparently.
Oh, nice. And but I was listening to that Billy Bush chap, and it was like, what he was doing was way more. One, it was really cringy, and two, it's like he was actually being way more weird. He's like, "Oh God, look at her legs." And Trump was like, "Yeah, they're nice." And all the way through, it's like, "Give Donald a hug, give him a kiss." And I can honestly say, when it comes in defense of what he says about millionaires, it's like, have you never noticed how the ugliest, dumpiest guy can win the lottery and suddenly find true love?
You noticed something about that whole exchange, though. That guy, that I can't even remember his name. You just mentioned his friggin' name. The short guy who was egging it all on. He was the one acting the way I just described the typical Hollywood wannabe starlet.
Yeah.
He wanted to be part of something with Trump. He wanted to schmooze with them. And Trump, in most of the video, looks like, I have to be here with this guy. Yeah, go on, keep talking.
To be fair, Trump always looks like that.
True. But the way he was reacting, even, is like, I'm not feeding this guy. So, once they got out of the bus, you know how he says, "Oh, I can't stop myself. A beautiful woman, I got to kiss her." They get out of the bus. He's in public. There's a beautiful woman. Does he grab her and No. He stands there. He's very polite. He's reserved. And from that point forward, it's just this guy who's going on and on and on, and Trump going, yeah.
Oh God. I will say this: I was at a. This is semi-relevant. I was at a Star Trek convention at the Royal Albert Hall a few years ago, and it had William. I'm not talking about young 60s Bill Shatner. I'm talking like mid 90s, not currently in a role looking Bill Shatner. And there were girls there who were making it their mission to ride him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Actually,
Yes.
That happened to actually, I know someone quite close to my family. Their father actually ended up getting righted, so to speak. He was a really famous composer, and yeah, that happened.
It's anything. If you've got wealth or money, you're gonna get some gold digging.
Exactly.
There's even a YouTube video. There's a Twitter account about that. It basically has dudes clearly looking wealthy, and they're just saying,
Go for it, ladies.
and they're just saying, and the whole point is to show that they're complete gold diggers. They there's one girl who's very hot, clearly had some work done, clearly did some massages for Bill Clinton, and but to put it this way, she was quite willing to leave her husband for this younger guy with a lot of money. So he takes a photo of her. Can I have a photo of you? And he goes, yes, it's to show my wife so she knows what a gold digger looks like. And it's just a bunch of stuff like that. It's like stand next to a nice car, girls come and talk to you, then you go, oh, you want to go for a drive? And they go to their crappy car and the girls walk off. It's quite a funny account. You should watch. You should look at it. I'll stop now. Ever started saying something and realised you hadn't really had a point with it? How about halfway through? So I don't have a point. Shit.
well, regardless, I think. With gold and diggers and stuff like that.
You've gone really quiet again, dude.
Oh. Yeah, with gold diggers, yeah, they're gold diggers.
Yes.
Like, what do you expect with them?
And that's what I always don't like about an awful lot of these people who don't like let's be honest, modern feminists. It's like they do not have the looks or the assets to go and be the gold digger. So I think that's what it all is. I think it's all of it is basically look at me and find me attractive. You have to you'll have to find me attractive. Look at Glamour magazine. Lily Dunham was in it, so she put herself all over it. It's like, yeah, just because you got in Glamour magazine just because you put yourself in Glamour magazine does not make you default attractive. It doesn't work like that. Media does not control culture like that. Media is a reflection of culture. And how do I know that? Because things that actually people culturally like get lots of views. Game of Thrones did really, really well because people actually like that kind of thing. It wasn't put on and people said it was good, therefore it then became good and everyone watched it. Even though I do think there are some people who just watch it to, be part of the group, shall we say? I think that's why a lot of Doctor Who gets it.
Yeah, part of the trend, as it were.
Yes, trend followers. Not exactly trendsetters, but very trend followers. Oh, yes.
I actually find this amusing since someone took the time to paint this.
Yes. Did you see the full thing, the full mural?
I have seen it. I just thought this was quite amusing.
Yes.
I love that they added in the artistic screeching bit.
Oh, but he was there. Did you see that video in ITV2?
Yeah, it was like,
no!
I legitimately thought he was quoting the third star and the sorry, my bad. 6 Star Wars.
Yeah, episode 6. Yeah. Oh, sorry, episode 3, the 6th Star Wars film. There we are.
Yeah. It gets weird, doesn't it?
It's just the way that he's just screaming. Yeah! It's like, oh, for God's sake! I have had loads of people got to get into power that I've not liked, and I've not reacted like that ever.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw that from the fucking right wing guys when Obama was elected.
There weren't any with it, apart from the occasional redneck going up with a truck going, "He's going to sell country over to the Muslims," and they got arrested promptly. There was never any rioting when Obama got in.
No, not really. Like there was like one protest which you expect from every fucking election. About it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's because, amazingly enough, even though Colbert says sorry, it wasn't Colbert. It was what's his name? Current year guy. John Oliver.
Oh.
He was doing something along those lines of I can't forget. Someone else took. I can't remember what he said.
I don't know.
Fill
I don't-
the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I have not watched John Oliver.
Well, that was it. Yeah, he said that the right-wing groups have more fake news than left-wing groups. And it goes, well, if the right-wing groups are having more fake, more hyperbolic news, how come they're not reacting anywhere near as badly as the left are?
Yeah, actually, wait, did he actually say that?
Yes. When the fake news thing came in, when Trump won and they were looking for stuff to blame.
Yeah.
Fake news is the thing they were blaming, and whether they did it by saying, "Oh, it's the right-wingers that are lying."
Wait, so so John Oliver was the one who did he? Oh no.
So question then. If say Breitbart was lying to us about how the rest of the media was cheating and doing horrible things and preventing Trump from a rightful fair chance at the election, then wouldn't we have been out there protesting and rioting and carrying on and burning things down if we were anything like the people that they are?
Oh, definitely. But we aren't. We're just adults.
Yeah, Colbert actually said what Colbert thing was. He said he did a percentage of things of people in America that think the left and the right, and a percentage of them who are actually afraid of the other people getting into power, and it was like really high on both sides. So things like 40% of people being actively scared of the other side getting into power.
Yeah.
And he said, and it's just like, have you not been? And you can tell these people aren't very old. They've only had Obama. Because it's just like, yeah, Bush was bad, but your day-to-day life didn't exactly change that much under Bush, even with the ridiculous war.
Not really. To be honest, it only really affected the army. Really.
Say again, sorry? You've gone quiet.
Oh, sorry. It only really affected military personnel.
Yes,
Not
yes,
much
obviously.
on the civilian front.
Yes. And obviously the families of those who actually had to go to the war, obviously. But we were in the same war over here, and I've got to say, day-to-day, didn't change that much for me.
Yeah, and also, to be honest, I was in China at the time.
China.
To be honest, I didn't even know it existed until 2007. 2007.
That's my favorite thing about the last election, though, is you had Trump saying China and Hillary saying Russia. It was great. It was great times.
And oh boy, dude, I cannot wait for the possible Russia-US alliance. No, seriously, imagine that.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous thing I saw on the news and goes, Trump is actually very popular in Russia. It's like, no shit. He's the one US president that actually said, I think it's a bad idea to be enemies.
Yeah, I mean...
Of course they like him.
Who do you think they're going to like? Who do you think they're going to fucking like?
As compared to the woman who said, you know what, the Russians are bombing Aleppo, so I'm going to impose a no-fly zone. Yeah. On the Russian Air Force. It's like, how are you going to do this? They even let her walk it back in the debates. She had 2 chances. The second debate, she said blah, blah, blah. And the third one, he actually comes out and says, you said this during the last debate. Do you want to explain your position or modify it in any way? He was giving her the out. And she was like, no, I absolutely believe that we need to no-fly the Russian Air Force to stop them from bombing civilians. It's like, yeah, shooting MiGs out of the sky over Syria when we don't have a convincing national interest is kind of a no-go thing.
Exactly, and also, if anything, it raised more suspicion with Hillary.
That was what I saw about it, because I remember there were a lot of people saying, I mean, even Stephen Colbert said it, liberals hate Hillary Clinton. Even then he had her on a show and I think he was told to shut up about it. But because after that, he suddenly became, hey, because they're what was it? He works for CBS, and CBS is a big contributor to the Democrats.
Yeah.
But it's like that episode, he actually had Hillary Clinton being asked a question, but when she was under investigation, or at least being questioned. And they said to her, "Have you?" And they gave her the most easy out question ever. Have you ever knowingly lied or misled the American people? And she didn't just say no, because it's the easiest out question, isn't it? Because even if you have done it, you can say, well, I had They're basically saying to her, "We're giving you an out. You can say that you have misled people, but you didn't know it was misleading." Wink, wink. And she couldn't just say no. She had to wriggle around it. And on Colbert, his reaction was, "How are you so bad at this?"
That even came up in South Park. It was like, "You dumb bitch." Everything my opponent is saying is a lie. Do not believe him. He's trying to throw it to you.
I just God. It was like South Park making fun of me. That makes sense because they have always. I think it's really funny to watch all the progressive press, as as I will call them, saying things on the lines of South Park's just lost it. They've lost the plot. It's like they've been the same. They've always been. It's you that's
they've
changed.
always been they've always been the fucking same. I mean, they did it with the Obama election too.
Yeah, it's the same as Grand Theft Auto. Everyone was following Grand Theft Auto. Well, everyone on the left was following Grand Theft Auto until they started making fun of liberals as well.
Exactly. Like
Impotent Rage, the liberal superhero, was hilarious because it was true and they did not like it.
Yeah. Oh, and also I love the shit they were doing with safe spaces in South Park. It was great.
Safe space.
Yeah, I have to say I like this season, even though I found it funny that they had to completely redo an episode because Trump.
Oh god, they did that. Donald Trump is actually dead in the South Park universe, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. No,
Raped.
he was president. He's president of Canada now.
Yeah, but he was raped to death by Mr. Garrison.
Yeah, and now Mr. Garrison is now Donald Trump.
And Caitlyn Jenner's his VP.
Oh man, that was fucking great. Like this shit's always happened. I mean, even going as far back as Team America. I mean, did anyone remember the dicks, pussies, and assholes speech?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so perfectly put.
Yes, it was really like you had dicks, which were the Republicans. You had pussies, which were basically the Democrats, and then you had assholes, which were the terrorists.
Yes. And he goes,
if dicks don't fuck assholes, they're gonna shit all over you pussies.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Sometimes dicks fuck pussies too, but
I was always amazed. I was always the person that I actually was the outlaw on Team America. I did not find it very funny.
It's like kind of a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
It's
not because of the politics. I think it's just because I was just watching going, I'm just not finding this that funny, guys.
To me, it's something that originally I wasn't too big on it, but actually I appreciated it a lot more as time went on.
Mm.
Because I actually saw a lot of the humor of it. It was quite cool. Like, for example, I love the super marionation they used. I thought that was a nice touch.
Mm. Oh, this is just popped up. Apparently, one of the women that's organised the Women's March, someone's found her Twitter account.
Oh no!
Apparently, she's really big into Sharia law. Yeah. Of course, every single time.
Oh boy! Oh,
and a lot of them they're getting women to wear American flag hijabs because that's the problem.
No! No! What are you doing? That's
This is just kind of like here's what they do. As I've always with these people, they're always anti what they perceive to be conservative, regardless if it's good for them or not. And that's why they are all pro-Islam and pro-hijab, because they go, oh boy.
Yeah, you know it's fucking bad when Godfrey Elfricks had sick of your shit.
He's actually been breaking character quite a lot recently, hasn't he?
I can't fucking blame him, to be honest.
Yes, he's done quite a bit of the old struggle is real.
Yes. That having your horse back to front is a real struggle. Oh my god! I honestly
at least have a Diet Coke. At least have a Diet Coke.
Yes. No. Oh, actually, look at the fucking bandana.
Yes. Yes.
Man.
Oh,
Oh no!
oh.
Oh no!
Oh my
no.
I'm missing this. Oh,
When there's the store update.
I've seen the one in the upper left. The what is wrong with the one that I've always looked at and said, what is wrong with the EU?
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh man, but yeah, I have to say, oh no, oh no.
Oh, Eddie, what are you doing, mate?
I feel Eddie. Has just gone
I love you,
down
Eddie,
the
but
dark-
come on, dude.
Eddie went down the dark path, and I feel.
He did go down a dark path.
Uh,
Oh my god. Well, the thing about Eddie Izzard, for people who don't know, he's a very good comedian, but he's gone fully into yes, it's a piggy muffin. The what he was like, because he was doing this when the Brexit thing happening, and they had him in to defend the EU, and he was making such bad. He looked like crazy old lesbian, and it's just like, I know you're a cross-dresser, you're a transvestite, but dude, there's different. Where did your sense of style go? Because he was always kind of stylish with it.
yeah, exactly. He was making a joke about it as well as
Yeah, but
you know.
he also had a good sense of style, so it all looked on point. But now he just looks like a badly dressed crazy person. And he said that we need to stay in the EU because it's best for humanity. And I'm just thinking, I don't understand why the EU is going to result in Star Trek, guys.
No, it's far from it.
Oh.
What
now
did you
what?
see? What did you see?
If you saw something,
just the concept of what you were saying.
Oh,
that
yeah,
the EU would lead to Star Trek.
Uh-huh. I think this is why I love Star Trek so much, because back in my head I'm like just saying, this can't happen though. There's no way this is happening.
Here's the thing. Actually, in my opinion, it's capable of happening. But this is where a lot of people actually go wrong with this. The main issue for any sort of union, like a political union and stuff, is actually just the fact that, well, we have no real common goal.
That is the Star Trek. That's how humanity changed. Because once we realized we weren't around in the universe, we all united. That's how it works.
Exactly. Like once we actually discovered interplanetary flight, once we could actually scale the galaxy, we had the mission. Well, the famous slogan from Star Trek, which was to explore new life and
new civilizations.
To
boldly go where no one has gone before.
Exactly, and it's something everyone can rally behind.
I remember that's when I actually found out that when I was a young lad, I actually found out the meaning of the word man. Because when they changed it to, it used to be where no man has gone before, and then they changed it to no one has gone before. They changed that? That's when I actually found out. Someone actually pointed it out. It's like, well, it was never politically incorrect because women are men as well, technically speaking, because man strictly just means human.
Exactly. It's always been regarded as man.
Yes, because there's...
woman is a modifier.
No, it was women.
Oh, yeah, women. I keep forgetting about that.
Like werewolf. But we just... I'm assuming it was sometime, during a war. When people goes, get the men over here, because it was only men. So I think that's... Yeah, but that's why I will say that, you have all these people who spell women with a Y, because women is just a thing from man. It's like, no, you don't know you don't know where the word came from. The fact that you actually kept your modifier and we didn't.
Exactly. Oh, no.
What?
I found the worst sign for the women's march, but I'll share it in a bit. Yeah, that's basically the thing. Well, since there's no unifiable goal... Actually, I was talking about this with good mates with a guy, but he's Remain. And we do have discussions about it, and we're not autistic about it, unlike some people.
Yes.
So basically we talk about it calmly, and we disagree with one another. But we both agree on the EU. And one thing I believe is that, well, it can't work at the moment because, well, one, they fucking rushed it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, do we really have anything we're actually working towards?
No, we don't. The only people who actually do are, well, you see, when people are all united, they become very effective. This is why.
Yeah, I mean, look what happened.
Well, this is why Islam has spread so quickly. You had a bunch of people who had the primary goal of spreading that idea around, and they were quite willing to do anything to do it. To be honest, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And while that's just it's ironically, unfortunately, a really good example. But another good example is, well, wartime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everyone had a singular goal.
Mm-hmm.
And despite things getting destroyed, things actually got done. We made numerous technological advancements. It led to, in the case of World War II, it led to modern aviation.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah, I mean, sure, you have a bunch of sacrifices along the way, but you actually achieve something. You have a common goal.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, we don't have one.
Yeah, well, you see in companies, their goal is to make profit. Therefore, that is what they focus on.
Exactly.
I did find a delicious one here from the Women's March.
Is it the one I'm looking at?
Let's find out.
It's the one I'm looking at.
For some reason, this is not showing up here. Damn it. Oh, dang it. Dang it, Bobby.
Yeah,
Oh, God dang. Let's show me the cancer.
Let's have a look at this. Let's see if we get a collective laugh, sight, or heart attack. There we go.
Oh, it's not showing up.
Oh,
okay.
Well, actually, yes.
It's not showing up on my screen share. Let me see if I can flip the screens. Or I have a dual screen system. It's like, no, I'm not good for that window.
Yeah, I actually. Yeah,
okay,
it doesn't
found it. Got it. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Okay. All right. Oh, God.
Dear.
Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, I am so finding that. That's gonna be a great fucking image.
I will share what I have just found. Just a moment.
Oh.
All right, get ready. Hold on to your butts. There we go.
I caught a flash of that. Okay, there.
Oh, that's fucking priceless.
Yes.
Eradicate! Eradicate! Eradicate!
What's eradicate? How do you eradicate someone?
She's trying to put the anarchist A in there, I think, and even that is screwed up because it
fucking backfired.
Yes, it's welcome to day 4 of Eradicate.
Oh no! Don't let them start that. No.
If I look closely, there is a separation between the C and the A, so it is actually a C. But for God's sake,
it just looks like erratic. Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh, whoops! My bad. Here you go. Here's the one I found.
Oh, charming.
Yeah, fucking read my lips, eh? Oh no, hands off my vagina.
What is wrong with these people?
Something fucking priceless about these idiots.
Yeah,
there's something that just cannot be replicated with the amount of intellectual idiocy these guys possess.
It's just so stupid. That's what gets me.
Oh, and also, oh no, actually, I've just found something even fucking worse.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. That they have signs and shit like that. They're fucking doing now.
Oh my God. I have to keep changing windows to do this. Grabs back. I mean, oh, he changed it.
No pussy, no power.
No pussy, no power.
Played loud.
Blood's cool. No, it's not. It's gross. That's why we have those things.
Proud to be a nasty woman.
Well, don't worry. No, just because no one will. What I say?
We won't back down, Alex.
Thou shalt not mess with woman's reproductive system. Here's the thing. This is what I don't understand about these people. Everyone is trying to not mess with it. That's the thing. The opposite is being attempted.
Oh, also, hi, Plipster. Yo, actually, hi, Plipster.
Oh God, it's been doxed again.
Oh, I would like to give a shout out to Jake Tapper, You may be familiar with the name of Jake Tapper over here, is a well-known gerbilist in the mainstream media, who came out and said that it even need be said is ridiculous, but mocking the 10-year-old child of a politician you loathe is odious, immoral, and self-defeating.
Yeah, I have to say.
Thank you, Jake, for saying the obvious, but saying it quite well.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I mean, it sucks that you actually have to and have it be a powerful statement.
It's just an example of how feral. I have to say this. It's like watching a dog go rabid, and I don't like to use that sort of terminology to describe human beings.
Well, to be honest, I can't really blame you. To be honest,
It's like watching people lose the capacity for rational thought and evolve into feral beings who they're lashing out and they just need to have this. Well, like the other gent said earlier, it's a unregulated, inconsiderate catharsis.
Yes. And here's why go back one gamer.
yeah, this one.
That's the one. Can I just say this image actually speaks volumes because we the people are kind of uniting and forming your own government under the anarchy sign.
Yeah,
What?
it doesn't.
Yes.
And also, actually, it gets worse when you consider that this car is actually one of the people.
That's
Rental
also
service.
yes, it's a rental agency. That's a small business trying to make a buck for itself in Washington, D.C. And if you look, all of the graffiti, including the stuff on signs behind it, is from the same can and apparently from the same person.
Yeah,
So-
and it's a bus, and it's just a bus stop as well.
Yeah.
Oh. The people my fucking ass.
I just can't. This stuff just gets to me. It's like I keep telling everyone I'm not a fan of Trump. I think he's probably pretty awful. Let's be honest, but he's by no
He's
means.
a douchebag.
He's by
Yeah, he's a douchebag, but he's a douchebag I'd rather side with than other douchebags.
That's the problem. But as South Park put it, it's douche, giant douche versus turd sandwich. That's what the election was.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really have much of a choice.
So the douchebag won. And that's the thing, though, is you have to get past that, and they're just like, no, we don't. We can keep doing this forever. It's okay, Trump 2020.
We're going to constantly fucking riot across every major city in the world, even though
are there any riots in
country in
Texas?
particular.
I don't want to bring up Texas again, but are there any riots in Texas?
I don't think so. Maybe in Austin, but
Poor Austin.
Here's somebody trying to be nice. And somebody from the EU, apparently, because it's Cross Atlantic is their name, and they have the EU symbol as their avatar, immediately bitches this person out for just thanking somebody for being nice.
Oh my god!
It's right here. Remembering a fantastic cake I made is awesome, and the chef that recreated it for POTUS Trump did a fantastic job. Here is an artist, a baker, who is congratulating somebody else on their artwork for Trump. And the first person is like, nah, son, they stole from you. Stop trying to be nice. Trump and fantastic belong nowhere in the same sentence.
Why are the strongest EU people, pretty much dicks? Why?
because I'll explain what exactly the EU. I mean, not the EEC and not the EEC because that's just economic zone, but the EU is self-serving to France and Germany. That's all there is. Like, why do you think that most of the powerful people in the EU are German or French?
I always just that was what I didn't like about the EU. The fact is that we talked about this earlier. Is like when everyone came together, the Sistine Chapel. We're made today. It should scream bloody murder. Oh, good economy of your.
I'm quite good at that, of using every single friggin' character.
Using every character. Yeah, we talk about the EU, and it's just what I didn't like about it is that it's not everyone naturally coming together under the under a single government. So they're seemingly trying to put. It looks to me that's what they're trying to do. It's very artificially happening.
Yeah, to be honest, they want. It looks a lot like the United States. What they're trying to do, trying to put like a federal
with no direct
government
voting, with no direct voting of who gets put in charge or makes the laws.
Well,
exactly.
This is the funny thing. I actually promoted for a long time when I was in my 20s the idea of a United States of South and Central America, and also one for Europe, where you would have a federal state system and the nations would become states under a single banner. But this needed to be a representative democracy.
Exactly.
And what you've got is the opposite of that. It's closer to the USSR, where everything's run from a Politburo. That's not intended to be an insult. That's a description of the similarities in the system.
No, it's just it's almost a fact at this point, to be honest.
As I keep saying, it's like it's everything about the EU. It's like there's no direct democracy of who's in charge. The laws are not made in the parliament. The laws are made. What was it? By the
especially with especially with a lot of the video. No, sorry, my bad. A lot of the nations that are in it being really screwed over. To be honest, it's a big case of, if anyone read Animal Farm, all nations are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yes,
that's pretty much what it is.
That too. It's kind of like here in the U.S. where you have California, even under our existing system. Essentially, the Californians are saying, we provided 4.3 million more votes to Hillary than to Trump, and that is well in excess of the margin by which Trump won elsewhere in the country. Trump, if you even out California and just say it's an equal wash, Trump won the popular vote because he carried the rest of the country, but not California.
Not California or New York.
Yeah. No. Well, specifically, even if you leave New York in, if you remove California and say that both candidates got an even number of votes and there wasn't any difference, Trump wins the rest of the country. But California brought in a margin of 4.3 million extra votes for Clinton, who claims to have won by 2 million. So essentially, you've got California saying, we want to be the deciders of the election. Because we want it to be totally popular and we're the tipping point.
Yes.
Exactly. And what they don't realize is the actual tipping point, or the mid-states.
When they actually vote,
in the Electoral College.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me give a quick lesson in the Electoral College. The reason that different states get different numbers, and it seems to be slanted towards the lighter states, is because they each get a representative not only for their congressional districts, but also for their senators.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's the whole dynamic of the House of Representatives and the...
Well, let me explain that real quick for people who might not understand. The House of Representatives gives a congressman to a state for every 100,000 or so people they've got. So California gets 55 because they have 55 congressional districts. And they also have 2 senators, like every other state. But if you have a state that only has like a few 100,000 people living in it, they only get a couple of electoral votes for their House of Representatives members, but they still get the 2 senators.
Because there's when going to the House of Senators and when going to the Senate, each state gets the exact same amount of senators.
Right. So complaining about the Electoral College slanting it towards the lesser populated states is like complaining about the existence of the U.S. Senate in the first place, because it's the same dynamic.
I mean, it's exactly.
This is what I try to explain to people about the whole rigmarole, is the amazing way that people are going, we have to abolish we hate the fascists and we hate the fascists and the right wing because they're all right wing and everything. And at the same time, they want to break down the system to stop those people from getting a say in who's the president. I think that's amazing. It's like, you're fascists, and we think we should change the system so we get to dictate to you what happens. It's insane. My favorite one was basically saying we should adopt drone technology so we could put all the farmers in the Midwest and all the farmers and the lower class people out of business so they can't vote.
Yeah, that's just fucking. That's bloody fascism right there.
It's just the head. It's just. I can't even, lads. I can't even. Oh, anyway.
Well, actually,
one
yeah.
last comedy tweet here. There we go. Look at the sign in the background.
Oh boy.
Make America read again.
Oh no!
Most of these people.
Oh no! It's in Vancouver. No.
Yeah, they're in Vancouver.
Fuck. No, I recognize these buildings. I have a house. Fuck.
Well, the thing is, I get what they're trying to go for, but they forget that America with that spelling isn't like Nazi Germany; it's Soviet Union.
Yes, exactly. No, I have a fucking house on that waterfront. No.
And the number of these people who I've run into, and they're throwing the word Nazi around, and I ask them, do you even know what a Nazi is? They know about the death camps. Mm-hmm. They don't seem to know about anything else. And it's like, okay, so you're saying that Trump is a Nazi because you think he's going to start death camps. Well, he's talking about registering Muslims. And it's like, okay, even if he were to sow a crescent moon on each friggin' Muslim in the United States, and nobody has suggested that, you're nonetheless saying that would be a prelude to feeding them into ovens or gassing them. Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. And at that point, they start hemming and hawing. They don't believe their own bullshit. They just want other people to be stampeded in that direction.
It goes back to, when they took, as we talked about earlier, when they were taking the LGBT and the climate change stuff off the White House website. I was like, you must know that this is normal protocol. This is normal. They take it down to move stuff over.
George Takei made it onto Snopes because of that.
Say again, sorry?
George Takei made it onto Snopes because he pushed that narrative.
Oh boy. Anyway, moving away from this to go back to our old format a little bit and read an article.
Oh, we haven't done that in a long time.
No, we haven't. And this is my favorite one. It's I spoke about it yesterday, but we're going to read it here and we're going to just enjoy it together.
Now it's time for story time with Plippy.
Yes,
friends.
Inversewit.com. This little ditty, written by someone called Eric Francisco. Which I was joking. Why Baines quote Trump in his inaugural address has ties with Gamergate.
No!
Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 45th president of the United States on Friday. By now comparing Trump to comic book villains is old hat, no shit. But his inaugural address, Trump channeled, however accidentally, the spirit of Bane, quoting parts of the master villain speeches from 2012's The Dark Knight Rises. However, this isn't the first time Bane's words has reached the real world. A lot of movies' iconic dialogue was ripped out of context, used by the Gamergate movement in large parts because it was jokes. It was funny, of which they were later absorbed into the so-called alt-right. That was Pepe, white nationalists who supported Trump in the 2016 election. As the Dark Knight, Bane, Tom Hardy, fakes a class revolution where he was only meant to be Gotham City's nuclear destruction. Standing atop a Batman's stolen arsenal in front of Blackgate Prison, Bane declared, "We will take Gotham from the corrupt to the rich, the oppressors of generations who have kept you down with myths of opportunity, and we will give it back to you, the people. Gotham is yours." This sounds like something Black Lives Matter say. "Gotham is yours. Nothing shall interfere. Do as you please. The power will be ripped from the decadent nests, cast out into a cold world where we will we know and endure. Courts will be convened. Spoils will be enjoyed. Blood will be shed. This great city will endure. Gotham will survive." Combined with Hans Zimmer's soundtrack. Oh god, there's so much filler in this goddamn article. Soundtracks sound Wally Fisters. A cinematography. Bane's speech is a charged scene to identify for those who identified with Gamergate. Identifying with it, guys. I identify as a Gamergate. The
Kill me.
2014 movement that said it was questioned ethical games journalism, but was infamous for seeming online harassment, latched onto. This is what Trump said today. We give it back to you, the people, as part of his speech. He basically puts on a huge chunk of Trump's speech. As Jezebel noted, the similarities are hard to ignore. One excerpt happens to be an exact quote. Yes, it's an exact phrase. It's an exact phrase. It's a phrase that people use. Through it's unclear Trump has even seen Dark Knight Rises.
No, he did. I mean, he did a fucking video on it. He fucking reviewed it. I remember that. That was great. That's fucking great.
Well, that requires fact checking, and you just link Jezebel and off you go.
Oh, that's fucking.
Predominantly young white nationalists who vocally supported him were largely dropped from Gamergate. What does Gamergate have to do with white nationalism ever? Guys, can anyone remember any members that were flat out white nationalists?
I have no fucking idea.
No, seriously,
Some were massive dicks, but white nationalists...
I can't even remember opponents of Gamergate ever making the claim.
I have to say
they came out and they said misogyny, and they said gamers are a bunch of basement dwelling Cheeto eaters, and just all kinds of other things. But white nationalists never came up.
Yeah.
Yes. The movement supporters, who have had a lot in common with white nationalists that made waves in the 2016 election, loaded in the arsenal of memes, GIFs, and YouTube mixes. Scary stuff. And took aim at progressives. Actually, all this stuff was pretty much a retaliation to the progressives that were attacked. The progressives are struck first, is what I'm saying in this war, man. Many of these memes featured the Bane character from Christopher Nolan's film, we know, brought to life by a charismatic revolutionary with supreme male physicality. It is true. I do know someone who actually started working out when they saw The Dark Knight Rises. And not in the original.
It had the part that they quote has virtually nothing to do with what they're actually saying came from speech. There's a very small section in there saying "returning power to the people," which virtually every American president has said that at some point. Mm-hmm. Whether it be while running for office, and I'm pretty sure Hillary Clinton said it multiple times as well.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
It's a common phrase, and which is incidentally why Bane uses it. Bane uses that language because it's populist, and he's making a populist speech, and it's very common populist speech. Duh! It's completely ass backwards.
Yep. They've inserted that Fire Rises video where Bane, tortures Phil Fish.
Do you feel in charge?
Yes, that's the one they put in there. If you're gonna, why is it all these Gamergate hate videos seem to feature men? The targets are always men in them, and they're usually games developers who are not of the female gendered.
They don't like to admit that there are any women in Gamergate.
Yeah, they don't like doing that either.
Much less POCs.
Yes, but apparently there are none.
Not the term I'm particularly fond of, by the way, but
no,
I prefer to think of people as human beings, and apparently that's bad these days.
Yes, you're either white or a pock. That's what I'm going to call them, pock.
I'm going to invest my company with Pocky.
Besides the concept of the revolutionary pushed as an alpha male, this thing is actually coming down to Bane is a big fit man. That's what they're saying. People identified with him. Bane's lines like "the fire rises" or "do you feel in charge" were common in Gamergate's homebrewed memes. They then go to... Hang on, I'll share this. I will share this. There we go. The drill people, the more they lie about Gamergate, the more the fire rises. See, it's someone actually saying it's a lie. Bane was the Pepe of his time.
What?
Bain's Trump quote was, of course, probably a coincidence, but it's telling one of Gamergate's white
Probably
nationalist
coincidence, but...
Yeah.
But we can't dispute it.
It's a telling one. Gamergate's white nationalist successors, the two have nothing in common. Sadly, I just hope Trump doesn't mimic Bane in too many ways. The villain did, after all, want millions of people to die in a nuclear explosion. That's it. That is the whole point they had. That was their point.
I wonder if they feel in charge.
Well,
They
I'm
don't.
guessing,
They don't.
Well,
Well, they don't.
I'm guessing the ones trying to break into Planet Fitness. This one's the best, actually.
Let's have a look.
I don't even know what the fuck's happening.
What the hell is going on there?
No idea. Like, they're just into Planet Fitness.
Well, yeah, memberships are expensive. All right, before we finish off today, and since we're doing politics this episode, anyone actually want to talk about this Brianna Wu thing?
No.
How can we? Well, I mean, all I can say about. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was pretty much it. It's its own thing. Brianna Wu for Congress. How do you top that? How can you come up with anything more mocking than what it is?
Well, her first video was was a thing to behold. I'll give it that.
Oh yeah, going off into the sunset, just like my Sonic the Hedgehog OC character.
It was that everything. Nothing of that was original. It was all stolen footage, and they put in things that are unrelated stories. People saying unrelated things next to each other, and then it ended up. I'm really worried about the way that women are going to be treated because she had a fucking voice modulator on.
It just occurred to me that if you didn't pay for that stock footage,
yeah,
then,
the bike bit is stock footage from somewhere else.
Exactly. If she didn't pay for that, she could actually get fucking sued.
Yeah, it was just the whole thing was just like in so many ways. It was just like, wow, are you actively trying to lose? I think possibly. Yeah. It's just there isn't much to say outside of the campaign ad, really.
I think it's possible that I might actually have something to do with this, and I apologize because I revealed the great secret of the American politics. When you get donations, you don't have to give them back, and even though there are regulations, even in the case of certain things being regulated for how they're handled, you still don't have to give the money back. You can put it in a bank account, collect interest off of it. You can pay yourself a salary. You can run a new exploratory campaign, pay yourself a salary from that. There's all sorts of ways to get around it. And essentially, the suckers who gave you money for your first run, you can keep running off of that later. This is why there are so many perennial politicians who fail and fail and fail, and somehow the guy's a millionaire. So what we're seeing here, I think, is simply Brianna Wu taking note of the fact that I pointed all this out, or she picked it up from somebody else. Maybe they figured it out on their own. I don't know.
Nah, she probably took it from someone else.
And
actually, she might have taken it from she might have taken it from Anita, actually.
And it's just the next extension of the usual scam routine.
Yes.
Well, to be honest, that's not going to work.
Is it?
I'm going to be honest.
For getting money or winning the election, because I don't think she cares about winning.
No, either. I mean this because she's not only vilified by her own community, but also no one fucking knows her, and she just sucks shit.
The people that do know her don't like her. That's the thing. If it wasn't media protection,
exactly, and the people who don't know her, like I introduced like this made at work, the main guy. Yeah, he thought Wu was a fucking freak.
Yes, everyone that sees Wu for more than 30 seconds goes, "What's wrong with this person?"
Oh yeah, speaking of what's wrong,
it was like when it appeared on David Pakman's show and even the Huffington Post. It was like the host knew that she was a hand grenade. They didn't.
This is fucking great.
Oh
my god. Oh no.
What a supremacist started calling anti-Trump people snowflake. It's a Nazi term,
What?
referring to the dust from the crematoriums. Nice.
They actually think special snowflake refers to.
I
I hope they try to make that stick.
please wait.
It's like watching a coyote thrash around in the trap while gnawing all 3 of the other legs off.
Yes.
Oh,
Is this like why purple and green is a rape joke? Somehow.
Because
Well, they pulled that apparently from one of the ways it was used on 4chan way back.
Oh, see, so it's just a one-off out of context.
Yeah, it's
Dang.
a one-off out of context, and it was related to a Dragon Ball Z joke.
Oh, I see.
Not only that, you kind of have to filter it through 2 or 3 other memes, including eggplant, in order to get the rape joke thing.
Oh my
There we go.
I think they really just cut straight to the eggplant. The eggplant is purple and green. It looks like a penis.
Oh, what's Shikaki doing?
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm just glad that we have the best president at the moment.
Oh, yes, WWE Hall of Famer, the Donald.
Yep. Man, this was great. Hell yeah.
That was Bobby Lashley versus Umaga at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Both men put their hair on the line in that match.
And oh dear, and
If Donald Trump won, he'd have his head shaved.
yeah,
If Vince McMahon's man lost, he would have his head shaved, and lo, he did.
yep, he did. Quite spectacular. You know what? I have to say, Vince McMahon.
That was the most
Amazing.
that was the most bought WrestleMania ever. Donald
Well,
Trump.
you have to. Well, regardless, it's fucking hilarious. I don't mind as long as it's funny.
Oh, it was amusing. I'll give it that much.
Like and fucking Donald Trump gets taken down by the referee, which was really funny.
Hey, he's a scrapper. He got in there.
Exactly, and man,
Made a lot of money from it as well.
Yep.
Oh god, someone just sent me a link of a tampon that reads, "Imagine if some men were as disgusted by rape that as they were with periods." It's like, what? Yes, periods is a completely natural, normal thing that happens. It doesn't mean I have to like it. I'm sorry. I don't look at the period and go, thing of beauty.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
I just
that's
got
what
somebody. I just got somebody replying to me, saying legality does not define morality. Yes, it is perfectly acceptable to assault somebody actively promoting racism.
Well, that means you're just kind of giving it to the racist then.
Just well, my point is laws are not optional.
Mm-hmm.
If you think laws are optional, that's where you get anarchy. That's where it's just like, hey, you know what? That guy's words offend me over there. It's not like we've. And by the way, we're talking about the Nazi who got decked in Washington.
Oh yeah.
And I've got no sympathy for the guy or his positions, but we've had this discussion in the United States before. The American Civil Liberties Union, which, by the way, is anti-Trump.
Yeah.
And has resources on its website. Right now you can go to, if you want to fight Trump, you go with the ACLU. They'll help you out. They fought cases in the late 70s. Beautiful. Love that. Where Nazis wanted to march in Illinois. And they were being told, no, you can't because you're Nazis and this is offensive speech. The ACLU said, well, no, actually, they do have the right to do that, even if it's offensive. It's a First Amendment issue. And they fought the cases and won. And it's considered one of the high points of the ACLU's history, fighting for the rights of people, even if you don't like them or what they have to say. Now we've got these people essentially throwing that all in the trash, saying, no, we can just silence you if we don't like what you say.
Exactly.
Where does
it's kind of a shame.
As somebody else said earlier today, well, communism killed 100 million people. Does that mean if somebody's preaching communists on my street, I can walk up to and deck them?
Exactly. I mean, it's I think
it's how the
what
street
really
fight in Germany got started.
Oh yeah.
Again, sorry?
I think
It's how the street fights in Germany in the 1920s got started.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Destabilize Germany. You had Reds walking in to deliberately destabilize things and try to take over. They actually did take over Berlin at one point. And that's where the SA brown shirts, the Sturmabteilung, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah, the brown shirts.
Yeah, the brown shirts showed up with like armored cars and machine guns and bringing their rifles because they were military veterans for the most part, and started shooting the crap out of them, just blowing these people away and retaking Berlin. And because of this, they were popularly thought of as heroes.
Exactly.
Because they weren't the ones who initiated violence at first.
Yeah. So, I mean, as long as you, it's part of the reason I think that there was a lot of people that supported Trump because they weren't the ones to start violence. I mean, there's a video going on at the moment during the protests where a guy with a Trump supporter, that's clearly a Trump supporter because he has the hat and shit.
Yeah.
He was putting out like a trash bin that was on fire with a fire extinguisher.
Yes, I've seen that one.
And he was flat out saying, look, just don't fucking do this shit. Like, if you want people to believe you, then don't do this shit. What did he get? Someone punched him in the face.
I'm forever going to be baffled about the people who don't understand, going back to the law thing, laws are not optional. And it's the same thing. It's just like, the laws exist for a reason. This is why you want laws that basically, if you think it's unfair now, if you think that it's unfair, you have to create a law which basically, that we have to think to yourself, if I'm on a point in time where my politics aren't popular, what will protect me? A lot of these people, they think, well, my politics is popular, therefore it's okay for me to do it. Therefore, this law is stupid. I should be able to break the law. That's not how laws work. Laws work to actually should work for both sides. This is why they don't like the gender discrimination law, because it actually stops them from having their all-female businesses.
Yeah, it's like,
and there are actually people who were there were people who were legit astonished that this says, well, why can't I have an all-female business? It's like, because you wanted it to, you weren't not allowed to discriminate anyone based on their gender. Sorry.
Yep.
Carry on, sorry.
Well, that was about it. It's
okay.
The main thing being, we live under a society of laws, and if you start thinking that those are optional because you're offended, well, guess what? Other people are too. And I find that with most of these people, they cop the attitude because they think that they have the advantage. Yes. It's not even, oh, well, other people might do the same thing. It's like, I'm not worried if other people do the same thing because we outnumber them. Well, they don't. If you're anti-Trump to the extent that you're willing to do just assault people in the street, you may think that, well, I have the popular vote. Yes, in California, not in the rest of the country, and not in the parts of the country that have the guns. We have 300 million privately owned guns in this country. And if you are presenting people with an existential threat, if you come rioting down their streets, don't expect them to just say, go home and just try and be polite with you. If you're burning things in an area, Washington, D.C. doesn't allow guns still. It's still difficult to get or pack heat in Washington, D.C. And you'll notice that, like you said before, that you have all these riots going on in Democrat cities where they're also largely anti-gun. If they were to try and export this sort of thing, say, to Phoenix, Arizona,
that would.
I'm going to give a little bit of an anecdotal story here. A really good folk singer friend of mine, Leslie Fish, was looking at moving to Arizona. She ultimately did, but she started looking into getting a cheap house. And there was this 3-bedroom on the west side of Phoenix available for $10,000.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Now, it was a hell of a fixer-upper, and she asked, okay, I understand it's a fixer-upper, but why is it so cheap? Well, you see there's these bullet holes in it. There used to be a drug lab here.
Ah.
And she's like, oh, so the drug people shot it up. No. That's not what happened. It's also the neighborhood. Oh, the neighbors are terrible? Well, you see, the people locally found out that people were dealing drugs here and called the cops on them. The cops came and broke it up, and then their friends did a drive-by on the house, having found out who did it, who called it in. And then the entire street returned fire.
That's fucking great.
The vehicle rolled to a halt, and before calling the police, they made sure that the vehicle caught on fire and that nobody could get out because they were constantly suppressed. And she went out and found that there was still a melted pothole in the street where their vehicle had stopped. So, yes, Arizonans have a certain limit on what they're willing to tolerate from their neighbors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, at least, she'll be aptly defended.
Yes. She was like, "Where do I sign?" They just stared at her.
Oh, okay. Well, so how did she have a good experience there so far? Or?
Apparently, she couldn't make the down payment because they wanted virtually the entire money, the entire $10,000 up front.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they wanted to sell the whole thing all at once. It's like, what? Look, you're selling it this cheap. Just I'll give you $1,000. I'll move in. Well, whatever. Anyways, that's pretty much the story. But she herself is a huge gun rights advocate, and she was like, "Yeah, I'd happily be part of that that neighborhood watch there. Come down the street burning things and screaming about how you're going to kill all whites or all men or all people who voted Trump. You're going to get shot."
Yeah, and this is what my thing about what a lot of these people say that say, going back to the Trump-Hillary thing, I was just thinking, if you switch the genders about what these people were saying, what Hillary was saying, right? Hillary and a lot of her supporters, including people that were on her stage with her, saying if they switched to the genders and had Trump saying it, he would have lost. Do you remember the amazing thing on the Hillary campaign of this only goes back. This is back to my hypocrisy thing again. When she said, "If you don't vote for Hillary, you're a bigot." It's like, and there's a special place in hell for women that won't vote for women that don't vote for that won't vote for Hillary.
Yeah. Oh, who the hell was it? I know who you're talking about. They were speaking at one of Hillary's speeches.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Elizabeth Warren. I think it was a previous one of our ambassadors to the UN or somebody who actually had a certain amount of credit, and everybody.
I know who you're talking about. It's that really famous. She's a bigger proponent of Islam, Islam's sort of control freakish nature, isn't she? I think I know who.
Let's see. I'm just going to say there's a special place in hell. Oh wow! The first thing that was Madeleine Albright.
Oh, nice. Yes.
I put in there's a special place in hell, and the first thing that pops up is for women who don't help other women.
Oh no, that's not the one I'm thinking of.
And she apparently apologized for it in Time magazine.
Oh. To be fair, it's a lot more than what other people would do. I mean, most of them don't even apologize.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Piers Morgan's been at it. I mean,
he's still going?
Oh no, he's shit talking Paul Feig now.
Look at this. Let me just see this.
It's great. This shit's fucking great.
This is why Women on March Washington is so important, to show rabid, dickless misogynists that they share this planet with smart, real... Oh, for God's sake, Paul.
Oh, but look at Piers Morgan. You're the guy who rebooted Ghostbusters with an all-female cast to suck up to feminists, and it tanks spectacularly, right? This is fucking great.
Piers Morgan has just been coming out swinging ever since he moved back to England. Well, he's always been kind of an in-your-face sort of guy. He's never been afraid to have a scrap with people.
We had a go at perennial twat. Was it Lily Allen? Yeah, had a spark off with her earlier. Basically, she just insulted it. She said something stupid. He corrected her, and she said "fuck off." And everyone goes, "Oh, you're scared of women." It's like, no. Lily Allen was hostile on here.
Oh, this is good. Oh, dude, I didn't even notice this one.
I'm planning a men's. I am planning. Let me just prioritize this for you. I'm planning a men's march to protest the creepy global emasculation on my gender by rabid feminists. Who's with me?
Holy fuck!
23,000 likes and nearly 9,000 retweets. Either that's a lot of button going on, or that is
Popular
struck a
tweet.
chord.
Anyway, I think we'll end it there. We've been going for a couple of hours now.
Usually, when I see a really stupid tweet or something that's obviously trolling or taking the piss, and I see lots and lots and lots of retweets and such, I'm usually that's probably botted. But what is this? Shut up, peers. Women are talking. She should just hope that senpai notices.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and they tell me that these people are not basically the reverse version of everything they hate.
I'm not afraid to use them.
Anyway. Oh god. This is the problem with my current setup. Because I'm using 2 accounts, that means I have to find out which window is actually the one streaming it. Anyway, so this has been the Boilerside podcast, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have been Plippy McGee, and with me was Gabriel Ages.
Goodbye.
Down at Well. And
G'day.
And Roy Galback. So, speak to you next week, or hopefully I will not be half asleep on the stream. See ya!